Hello, I'm Exquisite. In my last episode of Mitsumaru City, I built a bookshop by the lake. In this one, I'm going to extend the road network and build a couple of houses here in a Japanese style. Here is the mod list, and here is the resource pack list. You can find them all in the description, so don't worry. The first thing I want to do is build a street and a couple of side alleyways that can connect the bookshop to the houses. Any kind of road with a Yuushya mod has to be at least 3 in width to accommodate a car. That means my streets must be at least 6, with road markings and side paths it becomes about 13 in width. And for the side alleyways I just go with 3 with a couple of road markings too. Once that's complete, I add a few street lights and a little safety ring. Now I can start working on the houses. It's super hyper speed because I don't want to go past 5 minutes really. The foundation for this building is complete and I'm just adding a little flower bed. Here is how you make a flower bed using the gourd and the GUI tool. First I turn all of the things into entities. I just check it real quick. Right click them and then you can move them with the GUI tool to where you want them. I also put them in the ground a little bit, that way I've got a nice looking flower bed. Then I copy the code and I paste it all the way along so it looks exactly the same for all of them. You can find the copy and the paste at the top. Then I basically copy the same thing for the other side and make sure it's exactly parallel so it looks the same. Once that's complete, I add more half slabs on the front and the back, and I've got myself a little flower box. Now that both houses have flower boxes, I'm going to work on the yellow one first. It's going to be a very tall house. I found an inspiration picture here, and that's what I want to go for in this build. I add a very simple roof. It's slanted on one side, and then I work on the stairs on the inside. There's not much space in this house. It's a very small house, and there won't be any shower unit or bath, which is kind of silly, but never mind. I add some simple windows all the way around, and then I finish the roof at the top. I make sure to use the tiles that are available with the Yuushya mod because I think they look pretty good, and I make sure to make it a little bit triangular as well. Then I add a few drains at the top, and I add a big drain all the way down the side of the building with a grate at the bottom to catch the water. Absolutely brilliant so far. Then I start framing the windows, and I do this in hyperspeed as well so you don't get bored. Framing windows is actually very easy. Then I add a simple awning at the front and a mailbox. Now I add some wires to connect the bookshop to the house. That's a very important thing to do because electricity needs to flow in the city. By the side of the houses I want to have this little alleyway thing with a couple of fireflies and a little bin and lots of plants. Then I start to beautify the house with lots of vines all over the place, and again at the side of the house here I put a few bits of grown wheat, some lavender and some bone meal. In the house I did realise that there's no space for a toilet, so I actually had to build the side a little bit more. The bathroom is complete, so I start working on the kitchen. Here I'm going to add these little half slabs so I can accommodate a microwave. There's not much space for anything in here, but it does look rather good. I put one of those rattan lights from the Cocricot mod, and I start working on the bedroom. Again, there's not much space in the bedroom, but I put plenty of clothes in there. Interesting things, a half slab with a radio is always a good idea. A little table in the corner with a laptop on, because this is high tech. Once that's complete, I hide the roof bits a little bit. Look at the kitchen, isn't it amazing? I'm very happy with that, so I add flowers to those little flower boxes we worked on earlier. That looks good. Now I'm going to work on the second house. It's exactly the same dimensions and design, I just want to change it up just a little bit so it's slightly different. Inside the house is where most of the different things will occur. The technology is going to be different because the resident has a different idea of what they want from their house. As you can see, the kitchen is a little bit different, and it's a lot of white material as well. This house, I guess, would be owned by a single man who has some kind of tech job. Once again, I've got to extend the house just a little bit so I can have a bathroom, and then I'm going to work a little bit more on the kitchen by adding some things like coffee cups and then wine on the fridge there. And outside the house, I'm going to add the frames and put the blinds in just like the previous house. That way, both of the houses look in keeping with the theme of the street. I think it's really good, but it's a little difficult to do. There's also going to be an AC unit, and now the kitchen's complete. The drain network is also complete on the side. I'm just going to add loads of bushes and beautify the area with plants and different things at the side there. You can see the side alley looks absolutely brilliant between the two houses. This house is going to have a security camera and a little cat inside. I'll also add some hanging baskets and change it up by adding a little yellow car by the bookstore. At night, the lights look absolutely brilliant, and that's the end of my build. If you've enjoyed this video, subscribe, maybe leave a comment as well. Welcome to Mitsumaru City. I'll see you next time.